Welcome to a space where wisdom and love come together in the most unexpected ways. What if I told you that by caring less, you could actually make her care more? It sounds almost counterintuitive, doesn't it? But trust me, this is one of the biggest secrets to unlocking true attraction and connection. Let's explore this paradox together. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever noticed that the guys who are constantly chasing, always texting first, always dropping everything to be there, trying to prove their worth, are often the ones who get overlooked? On the flip side, the men who seem unfazed, who have their own goals, passions and direction in life, are the ones women can't seem to get out of their heads. And no, it's not that women are playing games. It's because real attraction isn't built on constant pursuit. It's built on presence, confidence, and emotional composure. Women are drawn to men who aren't desperate for their attention. They're attracted to those who stand tall, men who are self-assured, grounded, and comfortable in their own skin. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't about playing it cold or distant. It's not about pretending you don't care or being emotionally unavailable. It's about shifting your mindset and stepping back, not from her, but for yourself. Stepping back out of strength, not out of fear or insecurity. It's about recognizing that your value isn't dependent on how much she seeks you out. This is where the power of Stoicism comes into play. When you stop chasing, when you stop seeking constant reassurance, and when you learn to be emotionally independent, that's when everything starts to shift. That's when attraction grows naturally. You stop seeking validation from her, and in turn she starts seeking validation from you. You see, Stoicism teaches us to embrace detachment, not from the relationship itself, but from the need to control it. It's about mastering the art of relaxed indifference, which doesn't mean you don't care, but rather you understand that your peace of mind and self-worth are not dictated by external circumstances, especially not by someone else's actions. So, if you're ready to stop the endless chase and start becoming the kind of man who naturally commands her attention and respect, then it's time to shift your approach. Let's break down the mindset and strategies you need to make this transformation happen. Number 1. The paradox of indifference. Pay close attention, because what I'm about to say might flip everything you've been told upside down. The truth is, women need you not to care, at least not in the way you've been led to believe. Everywhere you look, movies, songs, even society in general, you're told that the more you show how much you care, the more effort you put in, the more devotion you offer, the more she'll love you. But that's a trap. The reality is, the more you chase, the less your value seems to grow. Not because she's being cruel, but because attraction isn't built on effort. It's built on confidence, presence, and self-worth. Let me put it this way. When you make her the center of your world, when you're always available, always texting, always searching for some kind of reassurance that she's still into you, you stop being a challenge. You stop being someone she has to work for, and you become someone she simply tolerates. The mystery fades, the intrigue disappears, and you're no longer someone she has to wonder about. You've already handed her all the answers on a silver platter. But here's the game changer. When you step back, when you stop seeking her validation, something incredible happens. You create space, real space, and that's where the magic of attraction starts to unfold. Suddenly she finds herself wondering about you. What are you up to? Why aren't you always around? The mystery makes her curious. And that curiosity is what sparks the first hints of missing you. And once she starts missing you, that's when she begins to truly value your presence. Now, don't get this twisted. This isn't about playing hard to get or manipulating the situation. It's about sending a subtle yet powerful message. I'm here because I want to be, not because I need to be. And that, my friend, is the difference between simply being there and being wanted. Number 2, the myth of constant effort. Let's challenge one of the most pervasive myths in the dating world, the idea that in order to win her over, you need to prove your worth. Show her how much you care, convince her of your devotion, go all in to make sure she knows you're the one. Sounds like the right thing to do, right? Well, not exactly. Here's the reality. The moment you start proving yourself, you send a signal that can actually push her away. What you're really saying is, I need you to see my value because I'm not confident in it myself. And that's when attraction starts to fizzle. Now, she's the one being admired, pursued, and validated, while you're just another guy trying to earn her attention. What most men don't realize is this: when you elevate her too high, putting her on a pedestal, she inevitably starts looking down at you. Not because she's being cruel, but because that's simply how human nature works. We don't value things that are handed to us on a silver platter. We don't desire what's easily attainable or guaranteed. The more effort you pour in without it being earned, the less likely she is to appreciate it. But what if you tried something different? What if, instead of focusing all your energy on proving yourself, you focused on being the best version of yourself? A man who doesn't chase. A man who doesn't overextend. A man who is already whole, complete, and doesn't rely on anyone else to validate him. A man like that is not afraid of losing anyone, and that's exactly what makes him magnetic. Women can feel that kind of energy. They sense when a man is at peace with who he is, when he moves through life with a quiet, grounded confidence. He doesn't push, he doesn't cling, he lets things unfold naturally, and in doing so, he attracts the kind of respect and admiration that no amount of effort could ever force. Number 3, the psychology of attraction. Have you ever noticed how the men who don't chase seem to effortlessly attract women? It's not some game they're playing. It's a simple psychological principle. Scarcity creates value. When something is always available, always within reach, always vying for your attention, it becomes easy to overlook. But when something is rare, when it's not guaranteed, that's when people start to desire it. The same idea applies to attraction. A man who constantly showers her with compliments, always checking in, always giving her attention, he might think he's being sweet and considerate, like the kind of guy every woman should want. But the truth is, he's predictable, he's easy to get, and when something is easy to acquire, it's easy to take for granted. She doesn't have to wonder about him. She doesn't need to think about what he's doing, if he's truly interested, or whether he's someone she should try to keep around. Now, contrast that with a man who is present, but still maintains his own life, his own passions, and his own goals. That's the man who becomes intriguing. He's not cold or distant, he's whole on his own. He's not handing out attention like candy. He's selective. And that selectiveness, it's magnetic. When a man isn't desperately seeking validation, when he's content regardless of her presence, he sends an undeniable message. I'm not here to impress you, I'm here to live my life. And that's the essence of true attraction, because real attraction isn't about proving you're worthy, it's about knowing your worth and letting her come to that realization on her own. Number 5, the power of emotional mastery. Let's make one thing clear. This isn't about acting uninterested or playing mind games. It's not about pretending you don't care just to provoke a reaction. That's manipulation, and women can see right through it. What we're talking about here is genuine emotional mastery, the ability to remain unaffected by external validation. It's about being steady, unshaken, and completely at peace with whatever comes your way. Stoicism teaches you to have power over your mind, not outside events. When you truly understand this, you unlock a rare strength. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, if she texts back, great. If she doesn't, your day continues as usual. If she pulls away, you don't panic. You don't overanalyze. You don't scramble to regain control. Instead, you remain present in your own life because your world doesn't revolve around her. And when she tests your patience, whether it's through late replies, mixed signals, or subtle challenges, you don't let it faze you. You don't beg for reassurance. You don't let her actions dictate your emotional state. This isn't coldness, this is strength. Strength is magnetic because a man who isn't easily moved by every little shift in a woman's behavior signals something incredibly rare: certainty. He knows who he is. He knows what he brings to the table. Whether she stays or leaves doesn't change his inner balance. Women feel that energy. They sense when a man doesn't seek their approval, when he doesn't rely on their attention to feel good about himself, and that's when something begins to shift. That's when she starts to wonder about you. Why you're so centered, why you're not chasing, why you seem unaffected when others might scramble. That's the defining difference between someone who's desperate for love and someone who naturally commands it. Number 6. The psychological power of emotional detachment. Have you ever noticed that the men who don't chase are often the ones women seem to pursue the most? It's not by chance, and it's not about playing games. It's all about psychology. People naturally value what they have to earn. They respect what isn't easily given, and when something feels too available or guaranteed, it loses its allure. So when you're always available, always eager, and always trying too hard, your attention starts to lose its worth. This is where emotional detachment becomes incredibly powerful. Now, don't confuse detachment with ignoring her or pretending you don't care. It's not about playing it cold or distant. It's about shifting your mindset to something like, I like you, but I don't need you. This subtle shift in energy creates a magnetic intrigue. It makes her wonder about you, makes her want to win more of your time, and it shifts the dynamic so she doesn't take your presence for granted. Here's how this looks in real life. If she takes hours to reply, you don't panic. You don't send a dozen follow-up messages. You just continue with your day, knowing your life doesn't pause for anyone. If she cancels plans, you don't overreact. You don't beg to reschedule right away. You simply let her know it's fine, but when you do make new plans, it's on your terms. You show her without saying a word that while you enjoy her company, your life and priorities don't revolve around her. That right there is the subtle but powerful difference between needy men and men of value. A needy man chases. A man of value moves with purpose. A needy man begs for attention. A man of value commands respect. A needy man worries about losing her. A man of value knows that if she truly wants to be in his life, she'll find her way there. Number 7. Mastering the balance. So how do you strike that perfect balance? How do you show interest without losing your edge? How do you care just enough without overcommitting? It all comes down to one simple rule. When I see you, I see you. When I don't, I don't. No chasing, no forcing, no bending over backward to get her attention. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about being naturally hard to get, because your life is already overflowing with purpose, passion, and activities that light you up. Whether she's there or not doesn't change your course. That fullness, that independence, that's what makes you magnetic. Not by proving your worth, but by simply being a man who values himself enough to not make her the center of his world. Here's the truth. When you stop giving unlimited access to your time and energy, something powerful begins to shift. She notices. She starts feeling the void you leave behind. She begins to wonder about you, think about you, and suddenly the dynamic flips. Now, she's the one who feels the need to earn your attention. So the next time you feel that urge to text first, to check in, or to show her how interested you are, pause. Let the silence speak for itself. Let her come to you, not as a game, not as a tactic, but as a natural consequence of you knowing your own worth. Because when she realizes she isn't your entire world, that's when she'll want to be a part of it. Women don't fall for the man who chases relentlessly. They fall for the man who holds his ground, the one who values her, but values himself more. Real attraction doesn't come from proving your worth. It comes from knowing it. This isn't just a dating strategy. This is how you move through life. When you stop seeking validation and detach from the need for constant approval, you don't just attract women. You attract everything that's meant for you: opportunities, respect, peace of mind. That's the true power of stepping back, not to create distance or manipulate, but to remind both yourself and the world of who you really are. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most men. You now understand something they don't. Attraction isn't about proving yourself, it's about knowing yourself. So, here's my challenge to you. For the next week, stop chasing. Stop over-investing. Stop waiting on her responses, over-analyzing her texts, or worrying about whether she's interested. Focus on yourself. Build your confidence. Master your emotions. Live a life that fulfills you, whether or not she's a part of it. And then watch what happens. Watch how she starts noticing you more. Watch how she starts chasing you, because when you step back, you create space. Space for respect, space for attraction, space for something real to grow. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, don't stop here. Subscribe, explore more of our content, and let's continue this stoic journey together. Life isn't about chasing, it's about living fully and letting attraction unfold naturally. Drop your thoughts or suggestions for future topics in the comments below. Let's build a community rooted in wisdom and peace. See you in the next video.